What do we value? Money, family, particular inanimate objects. You don't value water, you need it. No value can be assigned to something necessary other than your life. Inversely lies something within myself, always running inevitably every second I'm awake, my attention. Do we value our own attention? Born to give attention, or draw it. Every social media platform has two sides, view or post. We're encouraged to do both, but scrolling is most convenient. Personally, growing up, my platform to post on would be YouTube. When the pandemic hit in 2020, I fully immersed myself into the platform. Not only was I watching hours of content a day, I was attempting to draw in others' attention to the content I was creating. 127 days went by, and I did virtually nothing but play video games, watch YouTube, and make gaming-related YouTube videos. For months, I was enjoying this routine. It's not like I had anything better to do. We were in a lockdown. But what happens to our attention when we give it no time and no place to breathe? After posting my 90th video, all created from within the four walls of my room, I realized my mind was in all the wrong places. Never once in those 127 days had I valued my own attention. How to do nothing. Summer came to an end, and my freshman year of college began at Denver University. I chose to stay home, partly because of COVID-19, but mostly because I wasn't in a good headspace. The university required all freshmen to take a seminar class, and because only a select few were online, I ended up choosing a class on the book. How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell. This was my first interaction with Jared Knott over a Zoom call, and I had tons of questions, but I mostly wanted to know his reasonings for centering an entire class around this book. A book that changed my life.
The short story is, I'm a bird watcher, and I found that through bird watching, my relationship with being outside changed pretty dramatically, and I became more aware of things that were just in the background of my life. And every time I saw something new, it just brought me all this great joy, and I kind of wanted to share that sort of experience with undergraduates, with first-year students.
Yeah, like how would you just describe the book for someone who hasn't read it before?
Really important analysis of how we think about productivity, how we think about our attention and productivity, and ways in which we can let go of the things we've learned about productivity and aim to just be more present and aim to be, in a sense, idle, because there's great creativity in idleness.
Throughout my time reading the book, I was inspired. Previously isolated and stone set on productivity, presence and idleness is what I had been missing. I wanted to set myself out on a new journey to refocus my attention. I just needed to find a place to start doing nothing. And despite being away from this spot for months, I knew exactly where to go. Level with the world. I think we all deserve a place to escape temporarily from our daily routines. That place for me was what we call my hometown, top of the world. The irony is that when I come here, I don't feel like I'm above anything. Rather, I feel level with it all, and I see the similarities I share with nature. When our attention is always caught up in social media, it's easy to lose a sense of presence, a sense of self, and we know that instant gratification lives in our pockets, and it's addictive at all times. I found myself escaping to top of the world almost every other day, and when I did my best to keep my phone off and stowed away. This practice gave my attention the freedom to unlock the necessary thoughts to think critically about myself. And what I slowly realized is that I was going about my creating all wrong. Attentive creating. Context is what appears when you hold your attention open for long enough. The longer you hold it, the more context appears. Jenny Odell. To take a step away from YouTube, I decided to try writing my own screenplay. Along with this, I drastically reduced my time on social media and started frequently practicing attention exercises at top of the world. As YouTube and my phone saw less time, I began to gain more control over my own attention, helping me better focus on my writing, but more importantly, I saw great improvements to my mental well-being. As my mind became more attentive, my screenplay became more clear. I would sit and gather context to further progress myself and my ideas. The further my attention got away from my phone, the more I directed it towards nature, and I was understanding and sympathizing with the ecological world more than I ever had. A lot of people might think of this temporary escape as a waste of time. If you can get anything you want out of your phone, why ever turn it off? Sometimes you gotta go a little backwards to get further forwards. Sometimes it's hard to see what we're even heading towards. I've noticed that all ecology goes in cycles, but disrupting these for the economy is vital. For example, in Boulder County, a fire hasn't been allowed to go out naturally in over a century. If we left the fires alone, they would burn out eventually. But instead, flammable pine stacks up like weed in our dispensaries. But do we ever take a step back and look at our trajectory? Burnt out of fear from the past arises the reality of our present, notifying us at last, an attention-grabbing presence. Warning, a small fire on the hill. Scorching, I followed the smoke at will. Upon arrival, my eyes were amazed. So sadly beautiful, my mind went astray. For that moment, progress was contested. It was now the place around me where my attention was invested. For now I see history teaches through the trees, allowing thought with ease is the presence around me. No thoughts of tomorrow when the fire is no longer seen and my attention will be borrowed again by content on my phone screen. And while in this moment I take a few steps back, now when I go forward again I won't end up further back.